all of this could be made up. It sounded like later in the day he was trying to sort of backpedal a little bit on that. But from Congresswoman Kathleen Rice, a Democrat, she says Representative John Conyers should resign. I've reviewed the allegations against him. They're as credible as they are repulsive. His lawyer says no way. He says if people were required to resign over allegations, a lot of people would be out of work in this country, including many members of the House, Senate, even the president. Congressman Conyers has no plans to resign.
Well, look, John Conyers doesn't have a right. He didn't. That's not his seat. That's not Al Franken's seat. And in the case, certainly, of Franken, he can step aside for the good of the party, for the good of the country, for the good of Minnesota. I mean, look, when you have the members of the Minnesota Feminist Choir who are accusing you of groping, you're in a bad place. He can step aside, and another Democrat will fill that seat, and the party can move on. The world does not need Al Franken. Al Franken is not curing polio. He is one of 100 senators. No big deal. He can go on and do something else. The hubris, the arrogance that's attached to these lawmakers who are bringing harm to their parties, who are bringing harm to themselves because they selfishly believe they are important to this process, is a reflection of how the selfishness, the solipsism that infects and inhabits American politics prevents us from seeking the better good of the republic. It's all about them. It's never about everybody else.
You know that we're going to have to go get a thesaurus or dictionary or whatever. I don't know. Does that start with a P or an S or a solip? Whatever. Yeah, we know what you mean. Okay, listen.
Solipsistic potatoes for Thanksgiving.
Sounds delicious.
It's very delicious.
You know what's also delicious? The Turkey Bowl Awards that you give out. Talk about those, because today was the day we got some of these, and you have some repeat offenders or winners, however you want to look at it.
No, these are the winners. These are the people who made it very easy for us this year.
Okay.
Includes people like Anthony Scaramucci, the people who, the guy on Ted Cruz's Twitter handle who liked the wrong tweet, just the people who, in a year that it has been very, put it this way, we're enormously privileged to get to cover politics at this moment because we don't have to scrape for stories. We just open up the inbox and there they are. And some of the people who made it the best. And the top winner this year, Hillary Clinton, for worst book tour ever. And she is a back-to-back winner for 2 terrible book tours.
Well, and this one, like, she could not have planned that this whole thing was going to erupt, and it now reignites the conversation about her husband, and now Democrats actually turning on him and saying we never should have allowed him to get away with this, which is convenient to say 25 years later, but not good during a book tour.
Good advice for Hillary Clinton, though, about scandals and these things. If you want to ever rehabilitate your image, as my old daddy used to say, if you don't want to get a haircut, don't hang around in the barber shop. Might be a good time for her to get out of the barber shop.
I love his sayings, and yours too. And happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
Have a good one. All right. We have just learned, by the way, there's going to be a big meeting at the White House next week. President Trump will meet with the big